Sorry.
Ito ang Broad Streamcast Communicators, ang naiba at kakaibang plataforma sa digital broadcast. Mula Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao hanggang sa iba't ibang dako ng mundo. Broad Streamcast Communicators, ang sandigan ng sambayanan mula sa walang labis at walang kulang na pagbabalita, paglilingkod, maglalahad ng mga mapagbuong komentaryo at usaping pambayan para sa kapakanan ng karamihan. Broad Streamcast Communicators, tuwirang maglilingkod ngayon hanggang sa susunod na henerasyon. Buhay Online, chikahan at kaalamang pangkabuhayan. Ating tunghayan, pakinggan at tuklasin ang mga pangyayari at kaganapan sa mundo ng online. Buhay Online, chikahan at kaalamang pangkabuhayan. Alamin ang pinaka-latest trends mula sa trabaho at kung hanggang saan na ang narating ng teknolohiyang ito. At ngayon, narito na ang ating host, ang ating Techie Mami, si Jaye C. Bautista.
Hello, happy Friday. It's Friday, isn't it? Nawawala sa sarili. Hello there, Mr. Wilfredo Cruz. Good morning. Welcome to Buhay Online. Maraming salamat at sasamahan niyo po ako dito sa loob ng 56 minutes or so. Thank you very much. Welcome. Happy Friday, everyone. Yes. It's Friday again. All right. Marami tayong there's a lot of things na papag-usapan today, of course, relating to technology and, of course, news around the globe and news around the country. And, of course, the latest, we also review things and technological breakthroughs dito sa ating programa. Kasi rin-format ko ito in a way na para siyang yung aking column dati sa newspaper, right? When I used to have my column sa Manila Bulletin, it was called Techie Mommy Talks by me, Jaye Bautista. And that's what we do here. Araw-araw, no, pinapag-usapan natin kung paano ang teknolohiya ay nakakatulong sa ating kabuhayan at pamumuhay. And of course, with that, we cover everything, right? In the education, sa health, and of course, sa lifestyle natin, kung paano natin nagagamit ang technology to work for us at home also and at work and at school. So I'd like to welcome the people that are watching right now kasi hindi ko naman makita yung pangalan. Si Mr. Wilfredo Cruz pa lang yung umakyat na name. Thank you so much for joining me. And anyway, recently, pinag-usapan na ang mga cinemas daw, mga sinehan to make a comeback in NCR kasi ba binabaan na yung alert level sa Metro Manila sa NCR is now under level 3. Ang speculation, of course, cinemas to make a comeback and also some college classes too. All right? Yan ang magandang balita, all right? Movie theaters in Metro Manila have been allowed to open starting bukas, October 16, okay? After the Interagency Task Force on Emerging Infectious Diseases, or IATF, approved the proposal to downgrade the NCR region to alert level 3, okay? A number of colleges are also expected to open with limited face-to-face classes, diba? During the alert level that will be enforced until October 31. So yung alert level 3 is starting tomorrow, October 16, hanggang October 31. Alert level 3 na ang NCR, okay? So, sabi na, tinitignan na baka ang mga sinehan ay magbukas na sa Metro Manila and a number of colleges are expected to open soon with limited face-to-face classes. Magandang balita yan, pero talaga, just of course observe all the health and safety protocols. Under Alert Level 3, okay, the government has allowed 30% indoor venue capacity for fully inoculated people, okay? Sa mga fully vaccinated na tao, 30% na ang pwedeng mangyaring indoor venue capacity. Kaya 'di ba, pag kumain kayo sa Manila sa restaurants, titignan yung ano nyo, vaccination, ito, kagaya ng akin, right? Pero sa Amerika yung Vaxcert, yan, kagaya na sa akin. Tara, okay, papakita nyo na ngayon yan. So, pero walang discount yan, ha? Hindi, hindi yan discounting. Like senior citizen or PWD. Ano lang yan, para ka makakain sa loob. Alright? So, papakita mo ngayon yung na fully vaccinated ka na. So, 30% indoor venue capacity for fully inoculated people and 50% outdoor venue capacity for limited in-person classes for higher education and technical vocational education and training as well as cinemas and movie houses. Ulitin ko, no? Sa Alert Level 3, sa NCR to, the government, of course, dito ka sa Pampanga, hindi naman kami Alert Level 3. Diba? Ano dito, modified GCQ, almost the next thing to normal dito sa Pampanga. Of course, in other places, right? So, sa NCR, inuulit ko, 30% indoor venue capacity for fully inoculated people, 50% outdoor venue capacity for limited in-person classes, for higher education, meaning kolehiyo, and technical vocational education and training as well as mga sinihan, okay? Ang film industry naman, okay? Balita, in a laging handa briefing on last Monday, Cinema Exhibitors Association of the Philippines or CAP, ang head nito si Charmaine Bauzon said 7,000 workers in movie theaters lost their jobs. Okay, the industry also lost an estimated 21 billion income since cinemas closed its doors March of last year. Okay, totoo naman yon, grabe. Maraming na-displaced na workers sa mga sinihan saka sa mga concert venues, right? Prior to the announcement, CAAP had also appealed to the national government to allow cinemas to operate even at limited capacity. Kasi sa ibang countries like Japan, doon, bukas talagang sinihan nanonood. Pero merong social distancing, kunyari sa pag-upo. Pero yun na nga, enclosed yun, di ba? Sarado yun. You're breathing everything. Tapos kakain ka ng popcorn, parang, It can be recalled that cinemas were reopened in March 2021, itong last March, but their operations were halted after a recent surge of COVID-19 cases. So, binukas na pala nung March. Binawi lang, right? Okay. Ito naman, tungkol sa mga klase, limited college classes, okay? At present, face-to-face tertiary level classes have been allowed in medicine for obvious reasons, right? Yung mga may lab, yung mga pag-aaral na nagre-require ng lab work like nursing, medicine, dentistry, right? Okay? They have been allowed in medicine and allied health sciences, engineering, and technology programs. Yung mga may lab na hospitality, hotel and restaurant management, tourism, travel management, marine engineering, and marine transportation. Okay? With this development, the Commission on Higher Education, ang CHED, is considering the implementation of limited in-person classes for all degree programs in areas with low cases of COVID-19 and high vaccination rates. Okay? Meaning, okay, doon sa mga lugar na low-risk areas nga at marami ng percentage ang nabakunado, baka buksan na ang face-to-face learning, pero limited, okay? Limited in-person classes or face-to-face. To date, CHED figures showed that 73% of personnel in 1,488 colleges and universities nationwide have already been vaccinated, okay? Versus COVID-19, okay? So magandang balita yan. More than 73% na raw ng mga guro, okay? At ng mga staff sa eskwelahan ay bakunado, okay? Okay, very good. So yan ang isa sa magandang balita for today, alright? Okay. Alright. Next, Marami kasing kakwento today eh. Ano pa? Yun. The crucial role of millennials and GCs sa halalan na ito. Okay? Pag-usapan natin yan. Kung ano ang role ng mga kabataan dito sa ating halalan 2022. Alright? Let's do this. Okay, yan. The crucial role. Okay? Let me just fix this a little bit. The crucial role of millennials and Gen Zs sa itong upcoming election 2022. Okay? All right? This is based on an article na lumabas sa Philippine Star 2 days ago. Every year, kasi drawing to a close always has us contemplating on our holiday plans, right? This year, though, it looks to be different. We are including, most especially, the vocal millennials and Generation Zs that are always debating about lately, no, mas maraming kabataan na ang nai-involve sa politics at interesante or interesado sa politics, right? So this, it's election season also. Of course, Christmas is in the offing. Ano na yan, Christmas feels na sa ibang lugar. Lalo na't naririnig natin si Jo Marichan sa everywhere, sa kapitbahay ko every morning. But that's right, it's election season. The 2022 Philippine election scheduled in May, barely 8 months from now, decides our next national and local leaders, okay? What makes Halalan 2022 different? Unlike with previous elections, we are months deep in a global pandemic, of course. This time, nasa pandemya tayo, itong halalan na to. And for a country plagued by high infection counts and a low vaccine coverage rate, a physical election presents numerous challenges. Talaga naman. By September's end, the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, counted 63.36 million registered voters nung September 13 na naitala ito, right? For the 2022 elections. And because the sign-up period was extended until October 31, o kaya naman pala, this number is expected to rise. Hello there, sino to? Cynthia Buste, hello! Welcome back. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Friday na, di ba? Baka nagkakamali na naman ako ng araw ko. Sandali nga, i-check ko because really, tama, it's Friday. Oh my gosh. Really, when you're working from home, and in this pandemic, sometimes talaga I lose track of time and day because kasi I'm always working. Hi there, Jake. I missed you. Ngayon lang kita nakita ulit. Good morning, my dear Jake. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. Okay. Siguro one day, Jake, magkikita rin tayo in person, no? Total, nandito ka naman sa paligid-ligid na itong aking vicinity. I hope we can see each other one of these days. Ha? Jake is one of my good supporters. Kaya nga, Tarlac, di ba? Tarlac's not far from Pampanga, Jake, ha? Pag nakapunta ka ng Pampanga, alright? Just message me. Anyway, yes, it's a weekend na naman, di ba? Before we know it. So I was just saying na Jake, more young people now are interested in elections and voting. Nag-register ka bang botante, Jake? Did you register? Are you a registered voter? Well, I am going to vote this year, di ba? I want my vote to matter. Di ba? I've lived kasi in America for a long time and I have registered to vote this year. Feeling ko talaga in this pandemic, no, nandito na ako sa Manila. I mean, living here in Pampanga, I feel that in order for us to have changes, we have to vote kasi yung mga ibang tao, kyaw, reklamo ng reklamo, tapos hindi naman pala nag-rehistro magboto, hindi ka makaka-make a difference kung hindi ka boboto, right? So please, exercise your right to vote. So as I was saying, no, itong mga millennials tsaka Generation Z, anong role nila sa halalan 2022? Kasi nga, diba, in-extend until October 31 yung sign-up period. So the number na natala na 63.36 million registered voters for the 2022 elections ay mas dadami pa, expectedly, okay? Social media sites abound with stories of registrants, including celebrities, okay, lining up early just to nab one of the limited daily slots in Comelec offices and malls. We expect the same scenes to also play out on election day, okay? The question in everyone's mind, how then do we convince ourselves and other people to vote? And then when we do decide to vote, how do we choose wisely, diba? Okay? These questions were asked out loud on a recent Pamilya Monday episode in the University of the Philippines Department of Political Science analyst and researcher. Dr. Aris Arugay, National Citizens Movement for Free Elections, or NAMFREL, member, tsaka ang Professor Albert Owasan, and Now You Vote 2022 program head Jos Mahinay, and Good Gov PH founder Dexter Young had a panel discussion in Pamilya Monday dun sa UP Department of Political Science. They had a forum sa Pamilya Monday, okay? What to expect on election day? Anong ating hope, right? Or what do we hope for? Knowing what to expect on election day is vital not only for long-time voters like me, okay? Hindi pala ako, first-time voter in a long time, but also for first-time voters, ayan ako, mostly comprised of, ayan, kasama ko na sa mga millennials and Gen Zs na boboto na yon. We still face a lot of unknowns about the standard procedures officers and volunteers will follow on election day. We don't know what to expect on this pandemic election, right? But we can expect the voting experience to change. Of course, with the pandemic, ibang-iba, of course, i-adjust natin sa panahon. Sa pandemya, paano ang botohan, di ba? Hindi pwedeng crowding, right? Owasan cited measures taken during the 2021 Palawan Division plebiscite as a viable model. Okay, sabi ni Owasan, we have the usual efforts of people from barangay or school to maintain physical social distance on campus. They also made use of UV or ultraviolet rays, a way of cleaning up or disinfecting. Ganon din sa registration, may mga UV boxes. Of course, the usual alcohol here, left and right. The control to maintain social distance. Ang problema naman kasi dun sa mga ganyan, registration, even nga sa mall nung nag-register, is yung pagdikit-dikit ng tao. O yung magsalita ka, yung laway mo or whatever. Pero syempre, naka-face shield, face mask naman, right? Pero yun, yung mga bagay na hinahawakan mo doon sa mall, kaya alcohol ng alcohol importante, right? Tsaka ang ano talaga nun, social distancing. Meron talagang distansya between people. Kung hindi kasi, yun pa rin, you run the risk of getting contaminated, right? Some may use rigid health controls. The control to maintain social distancing presents kasi another potential issue, right? Voters' disenfranchisement. Ibig sabihin nito, gusto mo nang bumoto on the day of the election. Nag-travel ka na. Balak mo nang pumunta sa school and yet ikaw ay napipigilan. Dahil ikaw ay napipigilan, hindi ka na bumoto on that day, okay? Some may use rigid health control and other fake or sensationalized news to hold voters back. Ayun na nga, maraming maninira para wag kang bumoto. Maraming manggugulo. This is the reality of the coming election day. We can expect that it will not be easy. The challenge is showing up anyway. Diba? Ang ano dyan, importante, sa araw ng botohan, ay ikaw ay boboto. Okay? Huwag ka mag-chicken out, right? Pero kasi nga, dahil doon sa mga health protocols, yun din na nakakatakot. Parang ayaw mo pumunta doon kasi takot ka na ma-infect, right? Tapping the digitally wired and interconnected youth. Ayan, okay? As of September 11, Comelec Chairman Sheriff Abbas counted an additional 9,147,246 voters, okay? Of these, okay, 5 million are first-time voters, okay? With many first-time voters falling between the ages of 15 to 24. The youth vote, Ang boto ng kabataan can critically affect how the elections will turn out. Yeah, more kabataan now are going to vote. Oh, very good. Diba? If you're in this group, okay, kung nandito ka sa age group na ito, alright, kasi ang ganda ng anak ko, okay, you are likely part of what Dr. Arugay calls the digitally wired and interconnected generation. That makes up almost half of the voting population, right? You have access to information beyond newspapers, TV, and radio, and you tend to engage fully on online channels like social media, especially nga sa pandemic na ito na mayroong limited physical interaction. Kaya kung titignan mo, most candidates would count on the votes of the younger generation. Kasi alam nila marami yan eh, right? And usually, these are the idealistic members of the population. They want change. At very observant sila. At saka, ito yung mga kabataan ngayon, of course, na kasi nasa internet palagi, nakikita nila ang nangyayari sa ating buhay-buhay. They can see the news, they can see virtual reality stuff, okay, regarding candidates or personalities na tumatakbo, right? Na ginagamit ang social media rin para sa their own interest or to attract attention to them, right? And gain popularity. Convincing the youth population to vote can be tricky though. Mahalaga din po yung approach natin is strategic, said Mahinay of Now You Vote 22, whose group conducts guided discussions and creates content about issues relevant to the youth. Kung mapapansin nyo, okay, yung 2019 to 2020 graduates, okay? Yan, naabutan na yan ng pandemic. 2021 to 22, mag-aabot yan sa job market. Totoo. Yung nag-graduate nitong last year, tsaka itong graduate ng 2022. Mahinay said, focusing on joblessness. So, when we talk to the youth, mahalaga na makita nila na gaano ba kahalaga itong leader na ihahalal natin. Meron siyang concrete plan about job creation, about the economic recovery plan. Tama, yung mananalo dapat alam na niya kung anong plano niya sa pag-deal with this pandemic, right? For example, we have to make it very personal dito sa mga kabataan. Yang of goodgov.ph points out the need to reach out to communities where the youth belong, all right? Okay? He notes that the youth don't usually vote individually. They vote as a collective, and we've seen that in history, sabi ni Yang. Kami naman po sa GoodGov.ph, na-realize namin hindi natin kailangan maghanap ng mga bagong organizers. Kasi there are existing mechanisms. Nandyan ang ating SKs, Sangguniang Kabataan. We've seen in the past 3 months alone, sobrang daming SKs both in the federation level, the barangay level, na gumagawa ng paraan para makapag-register yung mga kabataan nila. Sabi ni Yang to. Kailangan dumami yung partners natin na sama-samang pupunta sa komunidad at hihikayat sa bumoto. Right? Partnership, collaboration, community efforts. Yes, that's more like it. Okay? So, ang mga boto natin ay para tayo mag-speak up, di ba? So, and now, I think that these people who did this forum are saying that more kabataan now are involved and interested in voting. As the year arrives at its final quarter, an end to the pandemic looms ever closer. Really? Totoo ba? Sa tingin nyo, it's ending? Kahit na may mga bagong variant? Well, I guess because sa ibang countries nga kasi yung mga nabakuhan na hindi ganun ka-strict yung lockdown kagaya sa atin dito sa Pilipinas. But they are trying to live normally, but of course observing, wearing masks, washing hands, public places. I'll be aware of the situation, no? But the 2022 elections then serve as a beacon for positive change. When we exercise collective actions through the elections, we make our voice heard beyond social media, echoing chambers and closed chat groups, okay? So in the future, pag may nagsabi, anong ambag mo? Shouldn't I have voted wisely? Dapat ang ambag mo is na bumoto ka ng tama, di ba? Ayan ang dapat sagot sa katanungan na yan. What is your contribution itong sa sa 2022 or in this pandemic situation is nakaboto ka ng wisely, right? The voice of the youth is important. It's always been, and it's always, that's the future and the youth, right? The youth is really a force for global change. Okay? Mahina is shared. Let's give our vote to someone special because with our current situation in the country, sabi ni Mahinay, it will take a special kind of leadership to get us out of where we are right now and to truly take our country to the right path and to a better path. Well, sobrang challenge sa magiging Pangulo sa 2022. Ang iiwanan sa kanya ay malaking problema at undertaking. Pero dapat ang ating ihahalal ay yung taong resilient, taong malakas ang loob, at taong futuristic din ang isip at out of the box. At unang-una, taong may pagmamalasakit sa kanyang mga taong bayan, right? So, that's my take on Halalan 2022 regarding the millennials and the Generation Z. Okay? Alright. So, ano pa? Marami pa tayong papag-usapan, right? Teka, tanggalin ko lang itong halalan mo sa face ko. Okay. So, that's what's crucial for halalan. Okay? Alright. Local news, tapos na ako. Alright. What is this? Mamaya yan. This is abroad. This is for America. Okay. What else? Facebook, update on social media platforms. Yan, di ba? Nasa trending news talaga yung pag-whistleblower nitong si Francine Hogan. Paano na-apektuhan ang mga social media? But let's look at an update, all right, on how social media platforms are going to be dealing with this in the next few months. Okay. Updates on social media platforms and tech giants and this year. Ano ang mangyayari sa kanila, di ba? Nasa sila forefront because dahil sa mga nangyari na yan. Teka muna. Ito munang NTC goes after sale of illegal text blaster machines. Okay muna, sige. Total social media rin 'yon. Sige, let's talk about muna kung bakit nagalit yung NTC, all right? The National Telecommunications Commission, or NTC, okay, on Tuesday, directed Facebook Marketplace, ayan, okay, rin to kasi, social media, Shopee and Lazada, tinawag sila, to appear before the commission, before the NTC or the commission sa August 27. Okay, tinatawagan sila na humarap sa NTC on October 27 ang Facebook Marketplace, Shopee at Lazada, and explain in writing why they should not be held liable for the sale of illegal text blaster machines in their online shopping platforms. Okay? The Commission has not authorized the importation, manufacturing, and sale distribution of these text blaster machines. O, tamo, hindi pala inauthorize. Hello, wala kayong basbas na NTC and similar equipment which have been found on sale in the online shopping platforms of the three. Nakita kayo dyan, nagbebenta niyan. Hello. Any sale of such equipment appears to violate Act 3846 of the Radio Control Law as amended and various rules and regulations. Example given, NTC Memorandum Order 0102-2013 entitled Prohibition of Portable Cellular Mobile Repeater and Portable Cell Site Equipment. The NTC said in a show cause order signed by NTC Commissioner Gamaliel E. Cordova and his deputies Edgardo Caballos and Delilah Deles sent to Facebook Marketplace, Shopee, and Lazada. Okay, para kayong sinabi na nun Text blaster machines can send 100,000 texts an hour. Paano yun? Anong repercussion dyan? Penalty, magbabayad sila ng fine o kulong? Or siya shutdown? Ano kaya ang sanction? Only the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council and other authorized state agencies in times of emergencies are exempted from their use. Okay? In view, so walang layperson, no, or na pwedeng gumamit niyan. Okay? In view thereof, your company is hereby directed to appear as respondent before this commission on the 27th of October 2021 at 10 o'clock in the morning, and to explain in writing within 15 days from receipt of this order why it should not be held liable for such violations, as well as subject the violative products equipment to confiscate and forfeiture. The Commission said that failure of the three to answer within the period granted to them shall be considered a waiver of their rights to be heard, with the NTC rendering judgment as the law and evidence may warrant. Okay? Upon receipt of this order, dapat daw ang mga respondents are hereby directed to cease and desist or tumigil na muna ang pagbebenta nitong above-mentioned similar equipment regulated by the Commission. Okay, itong sinabi ng show cause order nila. Okay? Last week, the NTC directed, all right, its regular branch director Imelda R. Walsien to investigate an emergency alert that may have used an illegal text blaster machine in an SMS blast indicating what appeared to be a message campaigning for one of the presidential candidates. Oh my God, see? Yun na nga. See? Ayan ang ibig sabihin yan. Kaya binibenta yan dahil mag-election na, right? Yung mga text blast paramihan. Ayan. Oh, kaagad-agad naman kayong Lazada, Shopee at FB Marketplace na nagbenta. Hindi pa na kayo authorized. Hala. Confiscated na yan. Okay? Okay, alright? So, confiscate na yan. Anyway, right? So, yan ang balita tungkol dyan sa mga social media, e-commerce, or online shops na yan. Lazada, FB Market, Facebook Marketplace, tsaka Shopee. Ano kayo ngayon? Mag-ingat kayo because you are being asked to appear on October 27 before the commission. Okay? Alright. So, okay. Tapos na tayo dyan. Now, let's go to, alright, how social updates, because this is also social media naman. Updates on social media platforms and tech giants this 2021. Okay, yan naman ang ating pag-usapan. Alright? Ayan o, yan ang mga headline ko. Nasa ulo ko. Tapos na tayo dito sa voting. Alright. Ayan. Ito naman. Okay? So, update on social media platforms and tech giants this year. Anong balita? Okay? Microsoft says, okay makinig please. It will shut down career-oriented social network LinkedIn sa China. Hala, isa-shutdown ng Microsoft ang LinkedIn sa China. Hindi ko alam na nakakagamit pa rin ng LinkedIn sa China. Di ba kasi China controls all of their communication. Much more so ang kanilang social media. Hindi allowed ang Facebook doon. Hindi ka allowed mag-Google. Pero yung LinkedIn pala, Microsoft says it will shut down career-oriented social network LinkedIn in China, citing a challenging operating environment as Beijing tightens control over tech firms. Okay? The US-based company will replace LinkedIn in China with an application dedicated to applying for jobs, but without the networking features, according to Senior Vice President of Engineering Mohak Shroff. We are facing a significantly more challenging operating environment and greater compliance requirements in China, sabi ni Shroff in a blog post. Facebook unveils fresh protections against online attacks on journalists, activists, and celebrities. The social media giant battles a crisis over its platform's potential harms. Di ba nga kasi yung whistleblower na Francis Hagan, sinabi na panay profit lang ang interest ng Facebook, hindi yung safety ng mga tao. Yan, kagaya ng journalists and celebrities and activists. The company has faced a storm of criticism and a Senate panel hearing since a whistleblower leaked internal studies showing Facebook knew its sites could be harmful to young people's mental health. Francis Hogan, an ex-worker at the company, alleged the leading social network puts profits before the safety of the users. Okay? So, yan, Facebook unveils fresh protections last Wednesday against online attacks on mga journalists, mga activists, tsaka mga celebrities, di ba? Pero talaga naman di ba? Nakita na natin through the years how social media affects the celebrities in a bad way because like sa Korea, di ba? Suicide yung mga, mga bata, 27, 28, 29 years old, those K-pop stars na kay gaganda, kay gagwapo, may pera, pero because of what they hear and read or see on social media, mabash sila, apektado, right? Nadidepressed dahil sa mga nababasa sa social media. I mean, in that case, mababa ang kanilang moral support from their management companies or their families because you get so affected by what you hear. Samantalang if you're a celebrity, dapat tanggap mo yun kasi public figure ka. Huwag kang maging artista, huwag kang maging singer kung ayaw mong mapapansin ka ng tao. When you put yourself out there, you're subject to a lot of things. And you have to be prepared to take that, right? Especially if you want to be a public figure, politicians, celebrities, or whatever, right? You have to take the flack and have to be open to that, even to constructive criticism. So, Facebook, okay? So, yun ang sinasabi. Yung Facebook daw, post ng kahit anything basta for profit, yung mga ads. Kahit na harmful or detrimental sa mental health or sa physical health ng mga tao, ng mga subscribers niya, okay? Facebook Head of Safety Antigone Davis announces the new protections, writing, "We do not allow bullying and harassment on our platform." Talaga? Paano yun hindi nyo naman na censor lahat? Na-post na, nakasakit na bago nyo i-bring down, di ba? Nakasakit na yung post. Kasi nga, hindi na filter bago i-post. Well, mahirap yun, billion na users. Diba? So, paano mo masasabing we do not allow nakasalita na, nakasakit na yung post, right? But when it does happen, we act. So, yun na nga yun. Hindi instantaneously yung ang aksyon or even to nip it in the bud. Kasi, naipopost na bago makita masama, saka mo i-take down. Kala ko, kagaya ng sinasabi ni President Biden, there should be a way that they will filter, the posts because some of them are really detrimental, okay? Facebook expands its range of banned attacks on public figures to include a range of sexual or degrading images of their bodies. So, yun ang madali nilang naalis. Siyempre, pero nakita na rin, pag pinag-post ng mga hubad-hubad or yung maliciously intended, pagka gusto nilang hiyain certain tao, or yung mga kachat nila, yung mga love scammers na yan, magpo-post ng pictures, yun, nailabas na. Pero if you take down naman yun ng Facebook, especially, kasi dati, kailangan i-report mo bago nila natanggalin right? Facebook says users around the world again had problems accessing its services for hours due to a tweak of its system, just days after a massive outage caused in a similar fashion. So, after that outage pala, nagkakaproblema pa rin. Sincere apologies to anyone who wasn't able to access our products in the last couple of hours, a Facebook spokesperson said. We fixed the issue and everything should be back to normal now. Okay? All right. Google says it will no longer post ads next to misinformation about climate change on its search engine or on global video sharing platform YouTube. Okay? The new policy for Google advertisers, okay? Publishers and YouTube creators will prohibit the platforms from helping people make money from content that contradicts well-established scientific consensus around the existence and causes of climate change. Kasi nga, di ba nagfe-fake news, pati climate change, fake news. Ano ba yan? That includes online content referring to climate change as a hoax or a scam, or denying the world's temperature is rising and that human activity is contributing to the problem. Parang tanga naman yung maniniwala na ang climate change ay bogus. Nangyayari na nga ngayon, na-experience nyo na, nararamdaman, nalalanghap nyo na yung bad air. Ano pang fake doon? Diba? Yung kinakalaban natin, yung mga ngayon, tapos na yan, wag na, yung mga anti-vaxxers na hanggang ngayon sa Amerika, marami pa rin. Twitch, Amazon's popular live video streaming platform, on Thursday says hackers took advantage of a mistake in a server configuration tweaked to steal data. Okay? A massive trove of confidential Twitch data dumped on the internet included records showing top gameplay streamers took in millions of dollars during the past year. The breach came as another black eye for Twitch's cyber defenses that have struggled to stop the hate raids by software bots targeting streamers who are not white, male, and straight. Okay? So experts say ang Facebook may have hit a red line this time, evidence that it knew children using its apps were at risk of being harmed. Yan nga ang issue niyan tungkol sa whistleblower, di ba? Na more than anything, yung mga kabataan daw na harm. Kaya ayaw nila, like yung Instagram ba, yung gagawa ng, sino ba yung gagawa ng version na pangbata? Is it Instagram? Instagram for kids, whatever. Sabi nila, wag na raw ituloy. Kasi harmful kasi to the mental health and physical health of the young people. A day after the damning testimony to U.S. lawmakers from Facebook whistleblower Frances Hogan, the long-established barriers to regulation stalled legislation, free speech protections, and tech's rapid advances. They were still in place, no? But an insider with the company's own documents showing that Facebook knew its tools risk worsening young people's eating disorders or suicidal tendencies. So, yan daw ang ini-encourage ng Facebook sa mga kabataan. Yung kasi panay pampapayat, tsaka yun na nga, yung mga gaming things, tsaka yung mga get rich quick schemes, okay? European Commissioner Thierry Breton said Wednesday that revelations by Facebook whistleblower Frances Hogan reinforced the EU's plan to regulate digital platforms, okay? After speaking to the U.S. data scientists who testified to U.S. lawmakers on Tuesday, EU internal market boss Beaton told reporters it was really urgent to legislate and not to weaken the Brussels plan. Last December, they proposed the censoring or the control of these digital platforms. Sabi naman ni Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, he hit back at the claims that social media giant fuels division, harms children, and needs to be regulated. Saying that, sabi ni Mark Zuckerberg, the claim that companies' profits, inuuna ang profit over safety is just not true. The argument that we deliberately push content that makes people angry for profit is deeply illogical. Sabi ito ni Zuckerberg in a note to Facebook employees. He then posted on his account hours after whistleblower testified before U.S. lawmakers. Sabi niya, I don't know any tech company that sets out to build products that make people angry or depressed. The moral, business, and product incentives all point in the opposite direction. Okay? Anyway, so yan. So ayan ang ating balita tungkol sa mga social media. Alright? So, ngayon, nasa under fire ang Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, pero they're claiming na of course papagbuti nila yon. I guess more censorship is in order, right? Or a more extensive one. Okay, so ano pang ating pag-uusapan? Alright? Excuse me lang, I'm just gonna get a sip of water. Okay. Facebook, ayan, in connection to that yung sa Facebook. Kung yung tungkol sa pag-alala sa safety ng mga subscribers or members ng Facebook community, na put into light yung mga journalists like me, right? Protection against bullying, pati yung mga aktivista. Pero yun na nga, nagninigit kasi yan yung mga sinasabi nila, like yung mga activists for anti-vaccine. Yan yung mga nagpo-post sa Facebook. Paano mo protektahan yan eh? Yan nga yung ayaw ng presidente. Yung mga nagpo-promote ng anti-vaccine, anti-vaxxers, yan may mga aktivista ng vaccine eh. So let's read about it, okay? Hold on a second. To protect. Okay. Hold on. Hmm, where is my protection of the... Here you go, okay? Facebook will now count activists and journalists as involuntary public figures. Totoo naman. I've always seen myself as a public figure because I am a journalist and I am a media person. Okay? And so, sabi ng Facebook, they will increase protections against harassment and bullying targeted at these groups. Totoo naman, 'di ba? Pagka controversial ang mga journalists, ang mga reporter pinapatay, right? Its global safety chief said in an interview this week on Facebook, okay? The social media company, or Facebook, which allows more critical commentary of public figures than of private individuals, is changing its approach on the harassment of journalists and human rights defenders, okay? Who it says are in the public eye due to their work rather than their public persona, okay? Facebook is under wide-ranging scrutiny from global lawmakers and regulators dahil nga doon sa pag-whistleblow, okay? Paano ang kanyang 2.8 billion monthly active users, okay? How Facebook, which has about 2.8 billion monthly active users, treats public figures and content posted by or about those figures has been an area of intense debate. Okay? Kasi nga, may mga parang may kinikilingan, right? Hindi dapat. Kasi sinasabi ng mga tao na on the whistleblower na yun nga, kahit public figure or politicians or endorsers, because nga, endorsers, parang ina-allow nyo yung mga posts kasi dahil sa mga ads that they bring in, the income. Na profit ang inuuna daw. Okay? Well, okay, they're alleged that they treat public figures and content posted by those figures about those mga public figures na may bias. Okay, in recent weeks, the company's cross-check system, which the Wall Street Journal reported has the effect of exempting some high-profile users from usual Facebook rules, has been in the spotlight. Ito tinatawag na death talk, okay? Facebook also differentiates between public figures and private individuals in the protections it affords around online discussions. For instance, yung mga users are generally allowed to call for the death of a celebrity in a discussion on the platform, as long as they do not tag or directly mention the celebrity. Meron palang ganun rule. Oh my gosh. No? Hindi ko alam yun. Facebook differentiates between public figures and private individuals. Sabi nila, users are generally allowed to call for the death of a celebrity in discussions on the platform. Kasi pinopost nga yung picture, di ba? As long as they do not tag or directly mention the celebrity. But what people have been doing is pag may namatay na celebrity, right? They post the picture, right? Or yung press release, i-repost nila. They cannot call for the death of a private individual. Or now a journalist under Facebook's policy. So pag morbid, pag namatay ako, hindi na pwedeng i-announce sa social. Paano nyo malalaman? Well, anyway, the company declined to share a list of other involuntary public figures, but said they are assessed on a case-by-case basis. Yun na nga. Earlier this year, Facebook said it would remove content celebrating, praising, or mocking George Floyd's death because he was deemed an involuntary public figure. Di ba yan talaga yung kumalat, yung racism na yan. Okay? Tapos pati yung Asian hate crimes because pinapost naman kasi or kina-quote or nire-repost ang mga press release. So, of course, kung gano'n ang gagawin nyo, of course, that's a bigger undertaking for Facebook and other social media platforms for them to secure and censor the posts of people, di ba? The posts of 2.8 billion users, right? Okay, Facebook's global head of safety, Antigone Davis, said the company was also expanding the types of attacks that it would not allow on public figures on its sites. as part of an effort to reduce attacks disproportionately faced by women, people of color, and the LGBTQ community. Okay? Sexualized content ito. Okay? Facebook will no longer allow severe and unwanted sexualizing content, derogatory sexualized Photoshop images, or drawings or direct negative attacks on a person's appearance. Buti naman. For example, in comments on a public figure's profile. Hindi ba yan na nga dun na didepress yung mga artista, yung mga celebrities, like sinabi ko na nagsusuicide dahil sa pambabash, hindi nila matake. Okay? In announcing the new protections, Davis also wrote, "We do not allow bullying and harassment on our platform, but when it does happen, we act." Okay? Adversarial networks. Facebook added journalists, okay, and human rights defenders to the list of people considered as public figures because of their work. Ito totoo naman talaga. Diba? Even commentators, broadcasters like me, like us dito sa Broad Streamcast Communicators, diba? Diba may risk talaga naman yung mga new policies included derailing coordinated efforts to use multiple accounts to harass or intimidate people, yung mga nagtutroll, considered at heightened risk of harm in the real world, such as government dissidents and victims of violent tragedies. David said Facebook will also start removing state-linked and adversarial networks of accounts at the social network that work together to harass or silence people, such as mga political dissidents, okay, mga active. We remove content that violates our policies and disable the accounts of people who repeatedly break our rules. Tungkol naman sa mental health na issue na sinasabi ng whistleblower na hindi pinaprotektahan ang mga youth at saka yung mga nagkakaroon tuloy ng effect sa mental health, yung mga posts. The company has faced a storm of criticism and a Senate panel hearing since nga the whistleblower leaked internal study showing Facebook knew its sites could be harmful to young people's mental health. Sabi ni Francis Hagen, yung ex-worker of the company, alleged that leading social network put profits before the safety of its user. Okay, the documents leaked by Hagen, which underpinned a series of scathing stories, have fueled one of Facebook's most serious crisis yet. Division, satisfaction. Sa testimony niya, she noted that the risks of the social media giants' platforms are fueling political division and self-dissatisfaction that is particularly dangerous for young people. Yeah, because nga yung mga tungkol sa pagpapaganda, pagpapapayat, you know, a lot of teenagers who are not feeling nila, hindi sila beautiful, hindi sila sexy, nagkakaroon tuloy ng psychological effect. Okay? Alright? So the leaked documents and Hogan's testimony have prompted fierce pushback from Facebook, but CEO Mark Zuckerberg has not publicly said whether he will accept an invitation from a Senate panel to answer the questions. Alright? Anyway, ang dami ko pang dapat sasabihin, pero yan na naman, time flies so much, right? And we are at our rope's end regarding the show today. Pero kasi next week pag-uusapan ko na kasi maraming mga this large companies, I wanted to say large companies are closing down their stores, okay? Sa Amerika, very sad. Very sad. Yung Macy's, ito, oh my gosh, nalungkot ako. Yung Macy's is going to close. The Macy's, okay? Ang Macy's sa New York, na dun lagi yung Thanksgiving parade hinahold. The Macy's Thanksgiving parade. It's called iconic to Macy's, magsasara na forever and ever. How sad. Okay? So, maraming kampanya sa Amerika magsasara. Macy's is the newest retail shop to announce a series of cutbacks. The firm announced in January that 45 locations would close permanently this year. According to CNBC, the closures are part of Macy's bigger plan to close 125 locations by 2023, limiting the company's presence to high-end commercial establishments. Magda-downsize lang pala. Okay? So, yun, isa sa mga companies na big ones, which is Macy's, at yung Express. Bumibili ako dyan dati ng ano. These are the trendy younger clothes before, okay? Express said last year that it would shutter 100 of its stores by 2022, beginning with 31 in 20 states in January last year. Between January 1st and December 31st this year, 35 more stores will close, with 25 more planned to open the following year. So, dina-downsize nila at open do sa mga strategic locations. Ganun naman ang ginagawa. Okay? Alright, isa pa, Office Depot sa Amerika, okay? The restructuring plan for Office Depot, which was first unveiled last spring, will extend until this year. By 2023, an office supply company wants to shutter an unknown number of outlets and lay off approximately 13,000 employees. Oh my God! Office Depot is like a very, very big office supplies chain. According to sources, the plans are part of the company's continuous cost-cutting efforts as it transitions from a typical store to an IT services provider. Oh my God. Oh well. Okay, last na lang. Tuloy ko na lang sa Monday. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me today, okay? All right, I want to thank everyone who joined me to this day. Nawala yung aking broadcast, ano nangyari? I'm back, okay? Thank you so much for joining me today. I still have a lot to say, of course, but I'll just continue saying that on Monday. The American companies that will be closing, the big ones, mga iconic ones, magsasara. But thank you very much for joining me. Maraming salamat po sa pagtutok nyo today. At marami naman tayong napag-usapan. And of course, yun na nga, yung magandang balita na alert level 3 na sa NCR. Bumaba na yung lockdown. Pero still, of course, we just have to keep praying that these things will end soon and that we also have to keep following the rules that we have to follow. Naman rules, that the protocols that we have to do in order to be safe. So thank you so much. Have a good weekend, everybody. Enjoy your lunch today. And syempre, of course, like ko sinasabi, huwag mawawalan ng faith, which is pananampalataya, hope, pag-asa, and love, pagmamahal for everyone. At the end of the day, these three things remain. Thank you so much.